Get away from me, Olivia hissed, her blue eyes blazing with a mix of hurt and fury as she glared at the man in the hospital bed. 5 years, Jack. 5 years since you abandoned me. Us. And now fate has a twisted sense of humor bringing you back here. Jack Montgomery's battered face reflected disbelief, the cuts and scrapes still raw from his accident. Olivia, I can't believe it's you, he murmured, a pained expression crossing his face as he attempted to rise. You're a nurse now, and despite your wealth, your body is as fractured as the promises you've made. She responded with an icy demeanor, adjusting his fore with a clinical detachment. But don't worry, I took an oath to care for all patients, even those who don't deserve it. 5 years earlier, their story had started in a vastly different way. Olivia Taylor was a nursing student, juggling her studies while working part-time at Westfield Cafe, an upscale coffee shop in downtown Boston, frequented by the city's elite for their morning fix. On a bustling Tuesday morning, she almost bumped into Jack while juggling a tray of lattes. "I'm so sorry," she had exclaimed, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment as a few drops splattered onto his pricey suit jacket. Contrary to the fury she anticipated, Jack had grinned. "The most unfortunate event of my day was encountering an enchanting woman. I'd say I'm faring quite well." His charisma was instant and captivating. Standing tall with dark hair and piercing eyes, Jack Montgomery exuded the self-assurance of someone accustomed to achieving his desires. As her shift came to a close, he had slipped his number along with a generous tip. Olivia found herself pausing before reaching out. At 24, her priority was completing her nursing degree, not pursuing romance. Yet there was an undeniable allure about Jack that sparked her curiosity, prompting her to send a text. What began as a first date blossomed into a second, then a third. Before long, Olivia was drawn into Jack's realm of opulence and unpredictability. Weekend getaways to New York, meals at eateries with reservations stretching for weeks, and evenings filled with conversations that lasted until the break of day, exploring their aspirations and desires. "I've never encountered anyone quite like you," Jack said to her 3 months in, as they lay entwined in the sheets of his penthouse bedroom. "You're not impressed by any of this." He waved his hand at the lavish decor surrounding them. Olivia chuckled. "Ought I to be? It's merely things, Jack. I care about who you are, not what you own." What Olivia failed to notice at first were the quiet indicators of Jack's reluctance to fully engage. He would deftly shift the conversation whenever the topic of the future arose, kept their relationship distinct from his professional and familial circles, hesitated to introduce her to his friends, and was hesitant to allow her to leave personal belongings at his home. Half a year into their relationship, Olivia discovered she had missed her period. 2 pregnancy tests confirmed what she had already suspected. In her small bathroom, gazing at the positive results, she experienced a whirlwind of emotions. Fear, excitement, uncertainty, and, underlying it all, an unexpected sense of joy. She envisioned a special dinner at Jack's penthouse to share the news, rehearsing her words in her mind. They hadn't planned for a baby, yet their love was undeniable. They believed they could navigate this new chapter together. "Jack, I have something to tell you," she said after dinner, her heart racing. "You seem deep in thought," he said, topping off his wine glass. "Is everything all right?" "I'm pregnant," she stated calmly, observing his expression intently. The change was instantaneous. His expression stiffened, then became resolute. The warmth she had come to rely on disappeared from his gaze. "Are you certain?" he asked, his voice devoid of emotion. "Yes, I took 2 tests." Jack placed his glass down and rose to his feet, moving toward the window. For a few moments he remained silent, simply gazing out at the Boston skyline. "I can't do this," he finally admitted, his gaze fixed elsewhere. "Children, loved ones. That's not part of my plan. Not now. Maybe not ever." "This wasn't planned for me either," Olivia replied, her voice trembling. "But we can figure it out together." Jack turned, his expression now a carefully crafted facade. "There's no together in this, Olivia. I have clearly outlined my priorities. Next year, my business will be branching out to 3 new cities. I'm putting in 16-hour days. A family simply doesn't fit here. Is that all there is? Does 6 months together mean nothing? Jack approached his desk, retrieved his checkbook, and scribbled furiously with swift, agitated movements. He ripped the check from the pad and extended it toward her. This should address whatever course of action you choose to take regarding it. I'm sorry, but this is where our paths diverge. Olivia fixed her gaze on the check, then on the man she believed she understood. In silence, she ripped the check into fragments, allowing them to cascade to the ground. You don't get to purchase your escape from this, she said softly. And you don't get to decide for me. Goodbye, Jack. She strode out of his penthouse that night, carrying only her dignity and the small life blossoming within her. Little did she know that 5 years later, she would find herself holding Jack Montgomery's fate in her hands. I can't grasp why you refuse to accept the money, Jack remarked, trailing behind Olivia as she approached the door of his penthouse. Consider the realistic aspects of this. Realistic? Olivia spun around, her cheeks wet with tears. There's no practicality in wiping out a child with a check, Jack. This isn't about finances. So, what is it that you seek from me? His voice escalated with exasperation. I've been straightforward from the beginning that my focus is on growing my business. I never claimed to desire a family. I'm not asking you to marry me or even to be involved, Olivia said, her voice trembling. But I thought you might at least care enough to stand by me, not treat our baby like some problem to solve with your checkbook. Jack's expression turned cold. My father had children he didn't want, and everyone suffered because of it. I won't make that mistake again. This isn't a mistake for me? Olivia whispered, resting her hand on her still flat stomach. Goodbye, Jack. That night, nestled on her best friend Rachel's couch, Olivia allowed herself to fully break down. What am I going to do, Rach? I have 6 months left until I complete my nursing degree. I can hardly manage my share of the rent, much less think about a baby. Rachel, a kindergarten teacher known for her practicality and unwavering loyalty, offered her another tissue. First, you need to compose yourself. Second, you're going to take up residence in my spare room for the foreseeable future. No arguments. Third, we're crafting a strategy. In the weeks that followed, Olivia endeavored to concentrate on that strategy instead of the void left by Jack in her life. She took on additional shifts at the cafe, sought out assistance programs for expectant mothers, and organized her clinical rotations to finish before her due date. After 3 weeks of silence, she removed Jack's number from her phone. Upon receiving the first ultrasound revealing a healthy baby girl, she sent him a single text with the image attached. If you reconsider, she's expected in January. Silence followed. By her 7th month, Olivia had embraced a new rhythm. Her professors had shown compassion, permitting her to fast-track certain classes. Rachel had turned her extra room into a charming nursery adorned with second-hand furnishings and cheerful yellow walls. I'm considering the name Lily for her, Olivia shared with Rachel one evening while they sifted through the donated baby clothes. Lily Taylor. It's perfect, Rachel responded, resilient yet graceful, much like her mother. The holiday season passed quietly, leaving no message from Jack in its wake. Olivia spotted his face on a business magazine at her doctor's office, the rising star developer of Boston, and swiftly flipped it over. On January 16th, 3 days after her due date, Olivia awoke to intense pains and a sudden, alarming flow of blood. Rachel sped towards Boston Memorial Hospital, disregarding speed limits at every turn. Something's wrong, Olivia kept insisting, her nursing training heightening her awareness of the potential dangers. It shouldn't be like this. The emergency room staff hurried her to the maternity ward, where a whirlwind of activity enveloped her. Terms such as placental abruption and fetal distress hovered in the air, accompanied by the urgent beeping of monitors. We need to perform an emergency C-section. A steady, commanding voice pierced through her anxiety. An experienced doctor with compassionate eyes stood at her bedside. I am Dr. Thomas Harrison. I will ensure both you and your daughter are well taken care of. As the team prepared her for the procedure, Olivia experienced an unusual sense of familiarity. Harrison, she whispered softly, are you connected to Jack Montgomery? The doctor halted, taken aback, as a look of astonishment crossed his face. He's my nephew. Do you know him? Before Olivia could answer, another contraction seized her, and everything around her shrank to a focus of agony and dread. What ensued was a whirlwind of surgical lights, frantic voices, and the haunting stillness that enveloped the room when Lily was first born. A stillness that lingered for 10 agonizing seconds before a delicate wail pierced the air. She's here, Dr. Harrison declared, his voice heavy with feeling. She's small but fighting. Later, after both Olivia and Lily were stabilized, Dr. Harrison arrived to assess their condition. He lingered at the foot of her bed, an air of concern etched on his face. You're Jack's Olivia, he finally uttered. He never said anything about you being pregnant. Olivia glanced at her sleeping daughter, so small in the hospital bassinet. He expressed his desire to stay away from this entirely. Dr. Harrison's expression changed. I've known that boy since he was born. His father, my brother, was a distant figure who regarded children as encumbrances. It appears that Jack has absorbed the incorrect teachings. He paused. Should I reach out to him? No, Olivia replied with conviction. Lily and I will manage just fine by ourselves. Dr. Harrison nodded thoughtfully. I respect your choice, but be aware that not everyone in the Montgomery family has Jack's constraints. If you ever need anything, medical advice, a reference after you complete your nursing degree, my door is open. In the days that followed, as Lily gained strength in the NICU, Dr. Harrison made it a point to check on them every day. As the moment of discharge approached, he discreetly handed Olivia his personal card. No strings attached, he assured her. Just a physician who appreciates a resilient mother. Olivia slipped the card into her wallet, unaware of the significance that connection would soon hold. With Rachel assisting her in lifting Lily into the car, Olivia quietly vowed to her daughter. They would create a stunning existence side by side, regardless of Jack Montgomery's presence. Unbeknownst to her, destiny had more chapters to unfold, and 5 years later, in the very hospital that welcomed Lily into the world, Jack would find his life teetering on the edge, with Olivia poised as the crucial link between him and the abyss. Mommy, can I have pancakes shaped like dolphins again? Lily asked, her excitement bubbling as she bounced on her toes beside the kitchen counter. Only if you help mix the batter, Olivia replied, her smile reflecting her daughter's infectious enthusiasm. At 5, Lily was a whirlwind of big blue eyes and a barrage of questions, embodying a delightful mix of Olivia's fierce determination and Jack's undeniable charm, even if Olivia preferred to sidestep thoughts of the latter. The morning routine in their cozy 2-bedroom apartment unfolded with a seamless grace. Morning routine. Breakfast, brushing teeth, taming Lily's hair into pigtails, and a swift glance at the day's agenda. Olivia had meticulously adjusted her life to accommodate her shifts at Boston Memorial, where she had been employed as a registered nurse for almost 4 years. Don't forget, Rachel will be picking you up from kindergarten today, Olivia reminded Lily as they strolled to the bus stop. I have the evening shift. Will you be there when I wake up tomorrow? I'll be home before you're even dreaming, Olivia assured, planting a gentle kiss on the top of her daughter's head. And we'll have all weekend together. After seeing Lily onto the school bus, Olivia strolled the 6 blocks to the hospital, her mind drifting to the day that lay ahead. The intensive care unit where she worked was both demanding and rewarding, precisely what she had envisioned when she embarked on her nursing journey. Good morning, Taylor, Maria called from the nurse's station. Dr. Harrison has been searching for you. Dr. Thomas Harrison had evolved into something greater than just a mentor over the years. After assisting with Lily's delivery, he developed a keen interest in Olivia's career, guiding her through residency and recommending her for the ICU position. He only spoke of Jack when Olivia initiated the topic, which was infrequent. Olivia, Dr. Harrison greeted her, looking up from a patient chart. At 62, his hair gleamed silver, yet his energy was as limitless as ever. How's our girl? Lobbying for dolphin pancakes and questioning why the sky isn't purple, Olivia replied with a smile. The usual. A clever young mind. I've been wanting to inquire. We're launching a new pediatric outreach program. Would you be open to taking on some shifts? The hours would align better with raising a child alone. Olivia pondered this. I'd like that. Lily's been asking for more mommy time lately. Their conversation shifted to patience, yet Olivia observed a distracted quality in Dr. Harrison's demeanor. At last, he remarked, I had dinner with Jack last week. Olivia tensed slightly but maintained a calm facade. How is he? Successful. Lonely. The same, Dr. Harrison sighed. He asked about you. Indirectly. I was asked if I still mentored that nursing student from 5 years ago. And what did you say to him? That you're among our finest ICU nurses. Nothing about Lily. That's not my story to share. Olivia nodded appreciatively. Thank you for that. It's better this way. Yet, in the stillness of her thoughts, Olivia found herself questioning if it really was better. Lily began to inquire about her father, her innocent questions evolving into ones that grew more challenging to address with mere half-truths. He resides at a distance, had been employed when she was 3, yet Lily's keen insight rendered such straightforward evasions ineffective now. Olivia had experienced a series of brief romances, a pediatrician for 3 months, a teacher from Lily's preschool for a short while, yet nothing seemed to last. Rachel was adamant that her comparisons to Jack were the reason, a notion Olivia strongly refuted, though she couldn't help but privately ponder if there was a kernel of truth in it. In a sleek, glass-walled office with a stunning view of Boston Harbor, Jack Montgomery meticulously examined the architectural plans for his latest development. By the age of 36, he had transformed Montgomery Developments into one of the most esteemed firms in New England, undertaking projects in Boston, Providence, and Portland. The investors are impressed with the sustainability features, his assistant remarked, setting a stack of contracts on his desk. They want to meet next week, Jack acknowledged, his focus already shifting to the next item on his never-ending agenda. His days unfolded in a whirlwind of meetings, site visits, and business dinners, a ceaseless rhythm that allowed scant opportunity for contemplation, precisely as he liked it. His penthouse apartment graced the pages of a design magazine. His romantic endeavors were fleeting encounters with women who accepted his commitment to his career, and his most trusted ally was his Uncle Thomas, the sole family member who didn't revere profit as the ultimate goal. However, recently there had been a change in the air. The thrill of sealing agreements and witnessing his structures ascend against the horizon seemed emptier. Rest eluded him, interrupted by visions of a past he had left behind. Your uncle called, the assistant remarked. Are we still on for dinner Thursday? Jack frowned. Dinners with Thomas had turned uneasy lately, his uncle's probing inquiries about joy and legacy hitting too close to home. Jack chose to keep it as is. Last week, Thomas alluded to Olivia, not by name, yet Jack immediately recognized who that remarkable nurse was. The simple mention had unsettled him for the remainder of the evening, awakening memories he had buried for 5 long years. At times, as Jack strolled through the public garden or walked by specific restaurants, he found himself pondering whether Olivia had decided to continue with the pregnancy. If there happened to be a child in Boston with a captivating gaze or a radiant smile, the idea both filled him with dread and sparked his curiosity. After a few too many scotches, he had ventured into the depths of the internet in search of her, only to stumble upon a locked social media profile featuring a polished headshot. No references to a young one. Perhaps she had indeed chosen wisely in the end. As the evening unfolded, Jack found himself steering his car along the extended path home, gliding past the imposing facade of Boston Memorial Hospital after a business dinner. He paused, recalling that Thomas had said Olivia was employed there now. For a brief instant, he contemplated halting, stepping inside to inquire about her. But then he chuckled wryly at his own emotional weakness and sped off. He was unaware that destiny was already orchestrating their reunion, initiating a series of events that would lead him back to that hospital in the direst of situations, with Olivia positioned as the barrier between him and his demise. "Uncle Thomas, I really don't want to hear another lecture about my personal life," Jack said, placing his fork down at the elegant restaurant where they gathered each month. "The company is experiencing unprecedented growth. We have successfully obtained the contract for the waterfront development." Dr. Harrison observed his nephew from across the table. "You seem quite worn out, Jack. When was the last occasion you enjoyed a getaway or experienced a connection that endured beyond the shift of your seasonal attire?" Jack let out a derisive laugh. "I refuse to revisit this discussion. It has been 5 years since you turned your back on something genuine," Dr. Harrison insisted. "I've observed you create a vast empire, all the while erecting barriers to shield yourself. Some of us take lessons from the Montgomery family history," Jack responded with a chill in his voice. "Father entered into matrimony, welcomed children, and brought unhappiness to all. I selected an alternate route. Your father was a distant figure who regarded family as a duty. That doesn't imply you're fated to make the same errors he did." Jack waved for the bill, anxious to make his exit. "I have a meeting scheduled for early tomorrow morning. Please consider what I've mentioned," Dr. Harrison urged as they separated outside. "Achievement holds no value if solitude accompanies you in the end." Jack sped through the rainy October night, his uncle's words resonating uneasily in his mind. The windshield wipers battled the relentless downpour as he navigated the twisting road by the harbor, his mind a storm of conflicting thoughts. He hardly noticed the sudden bend until it was already upon him. The tires lost grip on the slick surface, causing the high-end vehicle to whirl uncontrollably. A fleeting sensation of weightlessness enveloped the scene, swiftly followed by the jarring sound of metal colliding with the guardrail. The world spun wildly as the car flipped once, then twice, finally settling against the sturdy embrace of a tree. A surge of agony coursed through Jack's body. He attempted to shift, yet found himself unable to do so. A warm liquid seeped down his face while shadows began to encroach upon his sight. His final moment of awareness was oddly consumed by the image of Olivia's face. A multi-vehicle collision has occurred, and a critically injured patient is en route, expected to arrive in 3 minutes. The announcement echoed through the hospital intercom just as Olivia completed her charting. "Taylor, you're with me in Trauma 1, Dr. Weber said, already heading toward the emergency bay doors. Olivia trailed behind, her mind swiftly transitioning into a state of urgency. In a matter of moments, paramedics arrived, swiftly bringing in a gurney. Man in his mid-30s involved in a vehicle rollover incident. Unresponsive at the location, potential internal hemorrhaging. Confirmed pneumothorax, cranial injury. Blood pressure is decreasing and the pulse is weak. Recognized as Jack Montgomery through his driver's license. The name hardly made an impression as Olivia assisted in moving the patient from the gurney to the trauma table. Only when she severed his blood-drenched shirt did the realization strike her. Even with the cuts and bruises, she recognized that face. "Jack," she murmured, then quickly redirected her attention. "Physician. Weber, the patient is experiencing a collapsing right lung. We require a chest tube immediately." For the next hour, Olivia navigated the trauma protocols with a sense of detachment. Her emotions concealed beneath a veneer of expertise. Jack's state was declining swiftly. Severe internal bleeding due to a lacerated liver, a collapsed lung, fractured ribs, and a troubling head injury. Dr. Weber declared that surgery is urgently required. Prepare him for transfer to the operating room. As they hurried Jack toward the elevator, Dr. Harrison emerged, his complexion drained of color. A look of disbelief etched across his features. "I just received the call. Is Jack?" Olivia confirmed it, still maneuvering the gurney. "He is in a critical condition, yet stable enough to proceed with surgery." Dr. Harrison nodded with a somber expression. "I will reach out to the surgical team." "Olivia, are you?" "I'm fine," She interrupted him. He is a patient in need of care, nothing more. During the surgical procedure, there was a moment when Jack's heart ceased to beat. Olivia, supporting the surgical team, was the first to detect the slight fluctuations in his vitals before the monitors signaled an alarm. "Something is amiss," she remarked. "His pressure is declining too rapidly given the amount of blood loss we're observing." The surgeon glanced up with a sudden intensity. "It might be a response to the anesthesia." "Hold on," Olivia interjected, as a memory emerged. He once shared that he experienced an unusual reaction to antibiotics during his childhood. Review his chart for any allergies to penicillin. The anesthesiologist swiftly modified the medications, yet Jack's heart had already ceased to beat. As the room sprang into action with synchronized emergency protocols, Olivia stepped forward to help with the defibrillator. The surgeon called, "Charging to 200. With clarity, Olivia declared, revealing the surprise. Silence prevails. Once more. 300. Understood. Jack's body convulsed, yet the monitor continued to display a steady line. Once again, Olivia urged, her polished exterior faltering just a bit. 350. Understood. The monitor emitted a single beep, followed by another, creating a steady cadence. The room let out a collective sigh. The surgeon praised Olivia for her keen observation regarding the medication reaction while they worked to stabilize Jack. That understanding probably preserved his existence. Dr. Harrison, standing at the threshold, exchanged a glance with Olivia that conveyed a mix of appreciation and a deep, unspoken sorrow. After hours had passed and Jack was moved to the ICU, Olivia took a moment to check his vitals one last time before her shift came to a close. "Are you going to keep an eye on him throughout the night?" Dr. Harrison inquired, stepping alongside her. "Maria is stepping into the spotlight." Olivia paused, uncertainty flickering in her mind. "I believe it would be best if I were not his primary nurse. Due to your past experiences." Olivia responded softly, influenced by Lily. "For 5 years, I have shielded her from any disturbances. Jack's sudden arrival in our lives has certainly added layers of complexity." Dr. Harrison considered the matter with a thoughtful nod. "What if he awakens and inquires about you, about what once was?" "I'm not sure," Olivia confessed. "I never anticipated encountering him again in such a manner." Just as expected, Jack's eyelids began to flutter. Olivia and Dr. Harrison stood still, their breaths caught in their throats as Jack gradually opened his eyes, squinting at the glaring hospital lights above. His gaze, initially unfocused, wandered around the room before finally resting on Olivia. Understanding flickered in his gaze, quickly giving way to uncertainty and then clear astonishment. He attempted to articulate his thoughts, yet the breathing tube hindered his efforts. "Please refrain from speaking," Olivia stated with a professional demeanor. "You find yourself at Boston Memorial. An accident occurred involving you." Jack's gaze remained fixed on her face. Inquiries arise, piercing through the fog of discomfort and pharmaceuticals. Dr. Harrison moved closer, gently resting his hand on his nephew's arm. "Everything will be all right, Jack. Your care team in Boston is truly exceptional, dedicated to ensuring your well-being." Jack's eyes found their way back to Olivia. His expression was a blend of disbelief and an unnameable emotion, maybe a sense of loss. Perhaps that was merely her desired perception. Olivia said, turning away, "I'll have the doctor remove your breathing tube. Your breathing has improved significantly on its own." As she approached the door, the soft rustling of sheets reached her ears from behind. As she reflected on the moment, her gaze fell upon Jack, who extended a hand in her direction, his eyes filled with desperation. In a fleeting instant, she recalled the man she had once cherished, before he shattered her heart and transformed her existence irrevocably. A father's daughter waited at home, unaware that her dad was battling for his life just a few miles away. 3 days post-accident, Jack's condition improved sufficiently to transition him from intensive care to a private room. Although the breathing tube had been taken out, speaking continued to be a struggle due to his fractured ribs. As Olivia stepped into his room to assess his vitals, The air was thick with tension. "What is the duration of your employment here?" Jack inquired, his voice rough around the edges. "Nearly 4 years," Olivia responded, her gaze fixed on the blood pressure monitor. "You have taken on the role of a nurse. The plan was set from the beginning." She meticulously noted his figures on the chart. Even in our shared moments, Jack grimaced as he adjusted his stance. "Olivia, can we discuss what transpired?" "Refrain." She interrupted him. "I'm here as your caregiver, not to revisit the past. 5 years is not old. It is during the journey of nurturing a child independently." The words slipped out before she had a chance to hold them back. Jack froze in place. "So, you decided to keep the baby." Olivia finally locked her gaze with his. "Lily is her name. At just 5 years old, she's embarking on her kindergarten journey, captivated by dolphins and purple popsicles. And she carries your eyes with her. It's clear that you've never shown any interest in understanding any of that." Just as Jack was about to reply, Dr. Harrison stepped into the room. He surveyed the electric ambience with an insightful gaze. "How is our patient faring today?" he inquired. "Enhancing," Olivia responded with poise. "The vital signs are showing improvement. The pneumothorax is on the mend." Dr. Harrison acknowledged with a nod. "Excellent. Jack, we should have a conversation about your recovery plan. A journey of healing awaits you in the coming weeks." "Did you know," Jack inquired of his uncle, sidestepping the medical discussion about Olivia, "about my daughter?" "That's a discussion for another occasion," Dr. Harrison stated with conviction. "When you possess greater strength." Once she finished her checks, Olivia headed for the door, but Jack called out to her. "Hold on, if you would." His voice trembled with feeling. "I understand that I may not have earned it. May we have a conversation? Seriously converse?" Olivia halted, her back turned to him. "I finish my shift at 8. I'll swing by before I head out." The remainder of her shift dragged on interminably. Olivia was momentarily sidetracked, almost giving the incorrect dosage to another patient before realizing her mistake. As 8 o'clock approached, she found herself reconsidering her decision to talk to Jack countless times. "You really don't need to go in there," Maria said, observing Olivia's uncertainty at the threshold of Jack's room. "No matter your past, you are not obligated to him in any way." Olivia acknowledged this with a simple reply. "Perhaps it's something I owe to myself. And to Lily." Jack sat upright as she walked in, appearing more awake than he had throughout the entire day. The bruises on his face had deepened to a rich purple, forming a striking juxtaposition with the crisp white hospital sheets. "I wasn't certain you would return," he remarked. Olivia settled into the chair next to his bed. "I stated my intention to do so. You have always been true to your promises." Jack tried to smile, but it swiftly morphed into a grimace. "In contrast to myself, what prompted you to take that action, Jack?" The question that had been buried within her for 5 long years finally surfaced. "Leave it all behind entirely? Did you not even check to see if your child was born healthy?" Jack gazed at his hands. "I reassured myself that this was the preferable path. Fresh start. Simple and straightforward." He took a moment to reflect. "Honestly, I was filled with fear. Of the experience of fatherhood. Of not succeeding at it. My father." Jack's voice took on a steely edge. He expressed daily that parenthood had completely transformed his existence for the worse. That we were weights, hindrances to his joy. "I was raised with the understanding that I was not desired. So you chose to turn your back on your own child without even allowing yourself the opportunity to try." Olivia's tone was filled with disbelief. "I assured myself that I was safeguarding her from becoming an unwelcome burden to someone." Jack locked eyes with her. "I was safeguarding my own interests as well. From becoming my father." The quiet lingered in the air, heavy with a lifetime of things left unsaid. "Isn't she just stunning?" Jack finally inquired gently. Olivia sensed the impending swell of tears. "Indeed, she is flawless. Intelligent, compassionate, humorous." "Is she?" Jack paused, uncertainty flickering in his mind. "Is she inquiring about me?" "She began last year." I mentioned to her that her father resides at a considerable distance. Though he couldn't join our family, it doesn't diminish the love she receives. Olivia's voice trembled. I've never mentioned to her that you didn't desire her. She won't be carrying that. Jack shut his eyes, surrendering to the darkness. Agony marked his expression. I appreciate your generosity. I am not worthy of it. It wasn't meant for you, Olivia stated plainly. A nurse stood at the threshold. Miss Taylor? Rachel, your friend, is seated at the desk. Claims there's a problem with Lily? Olivia rose abruptly. I must take my leave. Olivia. Just as she approached the door, Jack's voice rang out. Are you planning to return tomorrow? She hesitated, yet remained facing away. I have been assigned to a different floor for tomorrow. I don't mean in that capacity. Olivia departed without a word, rushing to the reception area where Rachel stood with Lily, who was burning up with a fever. Apologies for the interruption during your shift, Rachel said with a hint of regret. She was adamant about wanting to see you. Mommy, Lily murmured, extending her hand toward Olivia with rosy cheeks. I'm here, sweetheart, Olivia comforted, cradling her daughter in her arms. Allow me to guide you back home, where comfort awaits and healing can begin. As she made her way to the exit with Lily in her arms, they walked by Jack's room. The door stood slightly open, and Olivia caught sight of him gazing out the window, an expression of bewilderment etched across his features. Lily trailed her eyes along the direction of her gaze. Who is that individual? She inquired with a sense of naivety. His expression was one of sorrow. Olivia paused, her heart racing. He is an individual who experienced injury due to an accident. Will he be all right? I believe so, Olivia responded softly. As time passes, that evening, after administering Lily's medicine and gently tucking her into bed, Olivia discovered a letter that had been slipped under her apartment door. She identified Dr. Harrison's script on the envelope. Inside lay a crumpled piece of paper, adorned with Jack's scrawled handwriting, chaotic and untidy due to his injury. Olivia, I feel unworthy of your forgiveness or a role in your life. In Lily's life, my actions were beyond redemption. For 5 years, I've immersed myself in my tasks, attempting to escape the realization that I turned my back on what might have been genuine joy due to fear and self-interest. Coming close to death has a unique ability to illuminate what truly holds significance. I will respect the life you've created unless you invite change. Yet, I want you to understand that not a single day has gone by without my thoughts drifting to you, pondering the little one we brought into this world. The past is unchangeable. I humbly request that you grant me the opportunity to express my apologies in a meaningful way, not only to you but, if you permit it in the future, to our daughter as well. With profound sorrow and honor. Olivia carefully folded the letter and tucked it away in her bedside drawer, right beside the ultrasound picture she had sent Jack 5 years prior. She then glanced at Lily, who was now sleeping soundly, her fever finally subsided. In her daughter's tranquil expression, Olivia discerned traces of Jack that were undeniable, the contour of her eyebrows, the gentle arc of her cheek. For 5 long years, she had kept Jack at bay, ensuring he remained absent from their lives. Now destiny had thrust him back into her life, and Olivia found herself torn between the opportunity for healing and the desire to safeguard the tranquility she had painstakingly created. 2 weeks following Jack's accident, Olivia found herself seated opposite Dr. Harrison in the hospital cafeteria, absent-mindedly stirring her coffee. Dr. Harrison mentioned that he will be discharged tomorrow. The physical recovery is progressing nicely, yet he has been inquiring about you and Lily. Olivia confessed that she was still uncertain about her next steps. A part of me believes it might be wiser to keep our distance. We've managed just fine without him. Have you been doing well, though? Dr. Harrison inquired softly. Are you both involved? Olivia let out a deep breath. Lily has a right to know her father. Yet there lingers the fear of potential disappointment once more. What if he ultimately concludes that fatherhood isn't his path after all? I can endure the pain he causes me, but I will not allow him to inflict harm on her. Dr. Harrison acknowledged this with a nod, indicating agreement. For what it's worth, I've been acquainted with Jack since the very beginning of his journey. I've never witnessed such a remarkable transformation in him. Coming close to death has transformed something essential within him. Later that evening, while Olivia assisted Lily with a kindergarten art project, her phone vibrated with a message from an unfamiliar number. "This is Jack. Thomas shared your number with me. I will be leaving tomorrow. Before I depart, I wish to express my apologies face to face." Nothing more to anticipate beyond that. Olivia's gaze lingered on the message as Lily animatedly shared her thoughts on her dinosaur drawing. Once she had tucked her daughter in for the night, Olivia finally responded, "I'll swing by in the morning." 8 in the morning. The following day, Olivia discovered Jack perched on the edge of his hospital bed, clad in casual attire. The marks on his face had dulled to a yellowish green, and he rose cautiously to welcome her. "Thank you for being here," he expressed. "You expressed a desire to converse. I have arrived." Jack motioned toward a chair, yet Olivia chose to stay on her feet. He started, saying that he had spent considerable time reflecting over the past weeks on the man he has been and the man he aspires to become. He inhaled deeply. "I began my therapy journey 3 days ago. I ought to have taken action long before, to spare you from pain. What prompts you to share this with me? I want you to understand that my request to be included in your lives is not made without careful consideration. I recognize the harm I've caused. I am determined to transform, regardless of whether you allow me to meet Lily." Olivia folded her arms across her chest. "And if I say no, if I tell you to stay away from us permanently, then I'll respect that," Jack said, though a flicker of pain crossed his features. "I will persist with the therapy, implement the necessary changes, and discover a way to coexist with my regrets." There was a quality in his voice, an unfiltered sincerity that harked back to their initial moments together, causing Olivia to feel a flicker of warmth. "I need time," she said at last. "And if I ever let you meet Lily, it will be on my terms. Monitored. Don't make any commitments about what lies ahead until you've demonstrated your reliability." Jack's face lit up with a sense of relief. "That exceeds what I am worthy of. Thanks a lot." Olivia cautioned, "Hold off on the thanks for now. I have yet to make any decisions." As the weeks unfolded, Jack maintained a careful distance, yet his influence lingered in understated manners. Unidentified contributions surfaced at the pediatric section of the hospital. Dr. Harrison noted that Jack had reduced his work hours, entrusting more responsibilities to his executive team. A month following his discharge, Jack composed an email to Olivia. "I have been attending therapy sessions 2 times a week. I have been navigating my apprehension about turning into my father and my tendency to shy away from emotional commitments. I understand that actions hold greater significance than mere words, so I am focused on demonstrating change instead of simply discussing it. I just want you to be aware that I'm putting in the effort, no matter what you decide regarding Lily." Olivia remained silent, yet the email brought a sense of resolution to her thoughts. Yet another month has slipped by. Rachel held onto her doubts. She cautioned over wine at their monthly gathering. "Men like Jack never change. People often say what you want to hear in order to achieve their own goals." Perhaps Olivia acknowledged. But what if he is genuinely making an effort? Shouldn't Lily have the opportunity to connect with her father if he has truly transformed? On the next Saturday, Olivia sent a text to Jack. "If you happen to be available tomorrow afternoon, feel free to join us at the public garden at 2 o'clock, just for an hour." Jack responded without delay. "I will be present. Thank you, Olivia." The following day dawned bright and clear, ideal for the swan boats that Lily cherished. Olivia adorned her daughter in the cherished purple jacket, yet she kept the details of their meeting a mystery. Jack sat on a bench near the pond, his nerves palpable as he awaited their arrival. He rose to his feet upon seeing them, his expression a blend of apprehension and optimism. "Lily," Olivia said softly, "this is my friend Jack. He expressed a desire to meet you." Lily observed him with intrigue. "Are you the individual from the hospital? The individual who experienced pain?" Jack's eyes widened in surprise before he gave a slow nod. "I was indeed. I feel significantly improved now." Lily stated with conviction. That's good. Mom says that when someone is hurt, they require a little more kindness. Your mommy is incredibly intelligent, Jack responded, his voice heavy with feeling. The hour flew by in an instant. Jack inquired about kindergarten and paid close attention as Lily shared her thorough account of the class pet hamster. When Lily decided to feed the ducks, he pulled out a small bag of suitable duck food from his pocket, clarifying that bread wasn't good for them. Have you looked into duck nutrition? Olivia exclaimed with disbelief as Lily dashed forward to catch a glimpse of a notably plump mallard. Jack shrugged, a hint of embarrassment crossing his face. I aim to be ready. Over the past month, I have immersed myself in literature and articles focused on parenting and the developmental stages of 5-year-olds. As they parted ways, Lily caught everyone off guard by wrapping her arms around Jack for a brief embrace. Would it be possible for us to visit the ducks together again in the future? Jack glanced at Olivia, mindful of boundaries. That's a decision for your mom to make. We'll see, Olivia remarked, observing the glimmer of hope that blossomed on both their faces. In the months that followed, these gatherings turned into a routine, with visits to the Children's Museum, the aquarium, and picnics whenever the weather allowed. Jack exhibited remarkable patience, never pressing for anything beyond what Olivia was comfortable with, consistently respecting her choices in parenting. On these outings, Olivia observed Jack and Lily, taking note of the effortless bond between them, the striking similarities in their expressions and mannerisms. She started to catch fleeting glimpses of the man she had once loved deeply, before fear had pushed him into the shadows. Following the 5th meeting of its kind, as Lily skipped ahead towards the car, Jack glanced back at Olivia. Thank you, he replied quietly, for introducing me to her. She is remarkable. Indeed, Olivia concurred. She wonders, however, about your true identity in her life. We can't prolong this tale of a mother's friend for much longer, Jack agreed with a serious expression. Whenever you feel it's the right moment to share with her, I'm prepared. I've been contemplating how to articulate my absence, aiming to convey my thoughts without adding any weight to her shoulders. I'll consider it, Olivia assured. That evening, while she was settling Lily down for the night, her daughter suddenly inquired, Is Jack my daddy? Olivia felt a flutter in her chest. What prompts that question? Lily shrugged, embodying the straightforward reasoning of youth. His eyes mirror my own, and at times, he gazes at me with the same intensity that Cassie's father directs towards her. As if I am the most extraordinary thing to exist. Olivia felt a sting of emotion in her eyes. Indeed, darling, Jack is your father. What is the reason he doesn't reside with us? It's a bit intricate, Lilybug. Occasionally, adults err, yet his concern for you runs deep. Lily pondered this for a moment, then gave a slight nod. I believe having a father figure would be nice. On the following day, Olivia reached out to Jack. Lily is aware that you are her father. She discovered the solution on her own. A lengthy silence ensued. What were her words? She mentioned that she believes she would enjoy having a father figure. Jack's breath hitched sharply. Olivia, I'm at a loss for words. Hold on for a moment, Olivia responded. Simply continue to be present. That is what she requires from you at this moment. Steadfastness. Demonstrating your commitment to staying put this time. Text. I will not disappoint either of you again, Jack vowed. I promise. Mommy. My head hurts again. Lily murmured softly, nestled on the couch with her beloved stuffed dolphin. It was the 3rd headache this week, and Olivia sensed a familiar knot of worry in her stomach. Allow me to take your temperature, dear. The thermometer indicated a slight fever, mirroring yesterday's reading. Olivia furrowed her brow, sifting through her understanding of nursing. The pediatrician had diagnosed a straightforward virus last week, yet there was an unsettling feeling regarding Lily's ongoing symptoms. Jack showed up for his planned Saturday visit, his arms brimming with the books Lily had expressed interest in. His smile vanished as he caught sight of Lily's ashen complexion. He asked Olivia softly, Is she still not feeling well? The headaches are intensifying. I will reach out to Dr. Winters once more. 2 days later, they found themselves in the pediatrician's office, anxiously awaiting the results from the additional tests. Jack had completely altered his schedule to attend, a fact that Olivia recognized with both astonishment and appreciation. Mr. and Mrs. Montgomery? The nurse made the call. They did not correct her as they accompanied her to Dr. Winter's office, with Lily nestled between them, grasping both their hands. I'm worried about these results, Dr. Winter said softly. Lily is exhibiting symptoms of Miller-Johnson syndrome. It's uncommon, yet manageable with expert attention. Olivia's expertise in nursing provided the information without delay. An uncommon autoimmune disorder impacting children, necessitating costly treatments and expert care. Her thoughts surged with tangible worries. Navigating medical leave from her job, grappling with insurance constraints, and coordinating treatment timelines. What comes next? Jack inquired, his tone unwavering even as concern lingered in his expression. A pediatric immunologist at Massachusetts General focuses on this condition. The queue is extensive, yet it is imperative that Lily receives attention at the earliest opportunity. As Lily rested peacefully in her bedroom, Olivia and Jack gathered at her kitchen table, delving into research about the condition. Olivia remarked while perusing the coverage details, "My insurance will cover some of it, but the specialist visits and the medication protocol are going to be costly." "I'll handle it," Jack replied without hesitation. Olivia tensed. "Your money isn't what I seek, Jack." "This isn't about us," he replied softly. "Lily deserves the utmost care available. I kindly ask for the opportunity to take care of this for our daughter." The term lingered in the air between them, delicate and fresh, a testament to the months spent meticulously restoring their trust. Olivia ultimately acquiesced. "I appreciate it, but I must be part of every decision-making process. Absolutely collaborators in this journey together." 3 days later, Olivia got a call from Massachusetts General. "A cancellation has occurred. Dr. Sharma is available to see Lily tomorrow morning." Tomorrow, yet her appointment was scheduled for 6 weeks later. "Your case has been marked as a priority." It seems that certain influences were at play. That evening, Jack showed up with dinner for everyone. While Lily unveiled her newest creations, Olivia discreetly led him away for a moment. "Have you scheduled an appointment for Lily with Dr. Sharma for tomorrow?" Jack appeared uneasy. "I placed a few calls. I possess several connections from development projects in proximity to the hospital. You ought to have informed me." "I intended to. I simply wanted to confirm that it functioned properly at the outset." He paused, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. "Do you feel upset?" Olivia observed him closely, looking for the privileged individual who had previously used his wealth to address issues. Instead, she perceived authentic worry for their daughter. "No," she finally declared. "I'm thankful. Thanks a lot." The consultations with the specialist resulted in a comprehensive treatment plan that includes a blend of medications and infusion therapy. Jack was present at each appointment, diligently jotting down notes and posing insightful questions. He adjusted his work schedule to support Olivia in keeping her shifts at the hospital. He assured her that he could manage the Portland project, addressing her worries about his workload. Lily holds greater significance. Dr. Harrison, having kept a keen eye on Lily's situation, encountered Olivia in the hospital cafeteria one afternoon. "Jack shared with me the details of Lily's treatment. What's her reaction?" "Improving week by week. The headaches are becoming less frequent." "And how is the journey of co-parenting with my nephew going?" Olivia couldn't help but smile, even against her better judgment. "Unexpectedly impressive. He is transformed, truly transformed." Dr. Harrison noted that love has that power. On that note, I observed that Jack coordinated all of Lily's treatments with Dr. Sharma, who is recognized as one of the leading specialists in the nation. Indeed, he leveraged his network to secure our swift entry. Dr. Harrison appeared uneasy. "Olivia, Dr. Sharma schedules appointments without regard for personal connections. She chooses patients according to their medical needs and the criteria established in her research. So, how did Lily manage to get in so fast?" Jack arranged a private funding setup, taking care of all expenses not covered by insurance, and created a research grant for Miller-Johnson syndrome in Lily's honor. Olivia fixed her gaze on him. He's covering all the expenses. He mentioned that he simply made a few calls. He preferred to keep that from you. You might perceive it as crossing a line or an attempt to regain his place in your lives through material means. That evening, after gently settling a much better Lily into her bed, Olivia caught herself gazing at her phone. Before she had the chance to spiral into her thoughts, she sent a message to Jack. Shall we have a conversation tomorrow? Once you've collected Lily from school. Upon Jack's arrival the following day with Lily, an undeniable change had occurred in their dynamic. Once Lily got comfortable with her homework, they took a seat on Olivia's cozy little balcony. Dr. Olivia said plainly, Harrison informed me about your actions regarding Dr. Sharma and the treatment expenses. Jack cast his gaze downward. I ought to have been truthful. Olivia concluded, expressing her concern that you might perceive it as merely throwing money at the issue, as you did 5 years prior. Absolutely. The distinction lies in your motivation, Olivia remarked gently. In those times, wealth served as a means to erase your troubles. This moment, it became an instrument for aiding someone dear to you. Jack gazed upward, a fragile glimmer of hope shining in his eyes. My affection for her, Olivia, surpasses anything I ever imagined. I understand, she replied. It has been a constant presence in my life for months. A serene hush enveloped them, brimming with untold potential. Jack finally mentioned that there's a picnic at the Arboretum this weekend. It was brought up by Dr. Harrison. I was thinking that perhaps the 3 of us could go, assuming Lily is feeling up to it. I believe she would appreciate that, Olivia responded. I would as well. The morning of the picnic arrived bright and inviting. Dr. Harrison arrived, accompanied by Rachel, who had started to soften towards Jack after witnessing his unwavering commitment to Lily throughout her illness. While the grown-ups prepared lunch, Lily dashed off to the duck pond with Rachel. Dr. Harrison trailed behind, intentionally allowing Jack and Olivia a brief moment of solitude. Jack remarked that Lily's most recent tests returned results that exceeded all expectations. Dr. Sharma believes she will achieve a complete recovery. Olivia expressed her gratitude for receiving the appropriate treatment in a timely manner. Jack paused for a moment, then took her hand gently. To his astonishment, she remained close. Olivia, these past months have revealed to me the true essence of what is important, beyond structures, agreements, or finances. He inhaled deeply. My affection for our daughter knows no bounds, and my love for you has remained unwavering. Before Olivia had a chance to reply, Lily dashed back, her pigtails bouncing with energy. Father, Uncle Thomas mentioned that we can feed the ducks following our meal. Jack's eyes grew large at the mention of Daddy. It marked the inaugural occasion when Lily had referred to him in that manner. Olivia grasped his hand tightly, noticing the wave of emotion wash over him. That sounds just right, Jack said, his voice heavy with emotion. As Lily drifted off on the picnic blanket, worn out from a day filled with fun, Jack glanced over at Olivia. He spoke softly, acknowledging that he had no claim to request anything beyond what you had already offered. Having the opportunity to know our daughter and be involved in her life is already a gift beyond what I could ever hope for. What are you trying to convey, Jack? I'm expressing my desire for another opportunity, not only in my role as Lily's father but also with you, if you believe that could ever be a possibility. Olivia gazed at the man beside her, no longer seeing the fearful, selfish figure who had once abandoned her, but rather someone who had confronted his demons and undergone a profound transformation. I'm not the same woman you walked away from 5 years ago, she said thoughtfully, and you're not the same man either. No, Jack conceded, we're not the same individuals, perhaps that's a positive aspect. Olivia beamed, a true light shining in her eyes. Perhaps it is. She rested against his shoulder, observing their daughter slumbering serenely in the mottled sunlight. The family they could become gradually forming in the space that separated them. A second chance, she murmured gently. It seems only fair that we all receive that. Hold still, Mummy. I can't fix your veil if you keep moving, 7-year-old Lily chided. Her expression tightened in focus as she carefully arranged the intricate lace on Olivia's head. Apologies, darling, Olivia chuckled, meeting Rachel's gaze in the reflection. "I feel a bit anxious," Lily asserted with a certainty that came from a deep understanding of her parents. "Daddy's likely the one feeling more nervous." He continually fumbled with his breakfast items. 2 years had gone by since that fateful afternoon in the Arboretum, when Jack had sought a second chance. 2 years dedicated to mending trust, filled with family dinners and weekend adventures, where Lily thrived in the embrace of her parents' love. 2 years of Olivia and Jack exploring the depths of their connection, not as the individuals they once were, but as the people they have evolved into. "5 minutes, ladies," Dr. Harrison announced from outside the bridal suite door. In the absence of Olivia's father, he had taken on the honor of walking her down the aisle with great pride. The ceremony was intimate, taking place in the garden of the humble home that Jack and Olivia had acquired together just 6 months prior. It may not be the lavish penthouse Jack once possessed, but it is a cozy and inviting space with a backyard for Lily to enjoy, and a study that also serves as Olivia's home office for the pediatric outreach program she now leads at Boston Memorial. As the music started to play, Lily took the lead in the procession, embracing her role as flower girl with great dedication. Rachel trailed behind as the maid of honor, casting a playful wink at Olivia before gliding through the French doors into the garden. "Are you prepared?" Dr. Harrison inquired, extending his arm in a gesture of support. "More than ready," Olivia responded, taken aback by the confidence that surged within her. Jack stood patiently under a canopy of blossoms, his expression shifting dramatically at the sight of her. Gone was the relentless entrepreneur who prioritized achievement above everything else. In his place stood a man who had discovered the essence of life: love, family, and the bravery to embrace vulnerability. As Olivia approached him, Jack leaned in and murmured, "You're beautiful. Not bad yourself, Montgomery," she whispered back, evoking memories of their early dating days that brought a smile to his face. Their vows carried a genuine simplicity, reflecting on past missteps while embracing the commitments they envisioned for the future. As the officiant declared them husband and wife, Lily erupted in cheers, racing forward to embrace them both as they shared their inaugural kiss as a married couple. The gathering was vibrant yet personal, featuring hospital colleagues, Jack's transformed business partners, and friends who had stood by them throughout their journey. Jack had notably reduced the size of his development company, concentrating on affordable housing projects and maintaining regular hours that enabled him to be home for dinner with his family most evenings. "It was time for a speech," Rachel declared, gently clinking her glass after dinner. "Jack, it's your turn to go." Jack abruptly froze, a look of anxiety crossing his face. "I had this entire speech ready," he started, retrieving crumpled notes from his pocket. "But I believe I'll just speak from the heart instead." He glanced over at Olivia. 7 years ago, I made a profound error when I allowed fear to lead me away from the most extraordinary woman I had ever encountered, and from the daughter I had yet to realize I truly needed. I dedicated 5 years to constructing an empire of glass and steel, believing that was the essence of success, while you created something infinitely more precious. A life brimming with love and purpose. His voice faltered. 2 years ago, destiny offered me a new beginning when it led me to your emergency room. Your actions that night were nothing short of heroic. You not only used your medical expertise to save me, but you also opened the door for me to return to your life and Lily's, which meant the world to me. I vowed to dedicate each day to deserving that precious gift. Lily pulled gently at Jack's sleeve. "May I share my thoughts as well?" Jack raised her high for all to admire. "Absolutely, darling." With a joyful innocence, she declared her delight that her mommy and daddy had reunited. "Now we truly feel like a family, and soon I'll be welcoming a baby brother." A collective intake of breath swept across the room as every gaze fixated on Olivia, her cheeks flushing a deep crimson. "Well, that was meant to be our unexpected reveal," she chuckled, placing a hand on her still flat stomach. "Indeed, we are anticipating the arrival of a little one in roughly 7 months." As the festivities unfolded into the night, Dr. Harrison discovered the couple enjoying a serene moment beside the garden fountain. "It has been quite a journey over the past 7 years," he noted. From that initial moment in the delivery room when I understood who Olivia truly was, to witnessing you both finally in your rightful place. We chose the picturesque path, Jack remarked, his arm wrapped around Olivia's waist. Dr. Harrison replied that the finest journeys often do. By the way, how is the foundation progressing? Jack's face lit up. This fall marks the beginning for the first 10 recipients of the Single Parents in Healthcare Scholarship Program as they embark on their educational journey. The Miller-Johnson Research Grant has proven instrumental in uncovering a more effective treatment protocol. Olivia rested her head gently against Jack's shoulder. It's remarkable what unfolds when we direct our efforts toward what truly counts. As the evening came to a close, Jack and Olivia sat on a garden bench. A sleeping Lily nestled between them, while the guests slowly made their way home. Without a hint of hesitation, Jack inquired softly, "Regarding the prospect of marrying you?" "None at all," Olivia assured him, reflecting on the path that led us to this moment. "Additionally, there is nothing. Each step brought us closer to this moment, including the difficult ones. Even during the times I foolishly turned my back. Even then," Olivia remarked gently, "that experience fortified me, shaped me into the mother Lily required." Experiencing loss prompted a deep reflection on what truly holds significance. "You and Lily," Jack stated confidently, "and now this tiny creature." He laid his hand softly over hers on her stomach. "Your impact on my life has been profound and multifaceted. And you returned to our lives just when Lily needed you the most," Olivia responded. "Certain errors can be corrected, certain connections restored." As they brought their slumbering daughter into the home they now called their own, Olivia reflected on the journey they had taken since that heartbreaking evening when Jack had given her a check and turned his back. After 7 years filled with countless tears, a serious illness, and a near-fatal accident, they finally rediscovered their path to one another. Not as the same individuals who had separated, but as more resilient, insightful versions who had discovered the true essence of forgiveness, growth, and unconditional love. The wealthy man had left her during her pregnancy. After the accident, it was the nurse who brought him back from the brink of death. Ultimately, they found salvation in one another, forging the family they were destined to become.